The story of WeWork is one of the most dramatic collapses in modern business history. A company that was once valued at over $47 billion in the summer of 2019 saw its worth plummet by more than 3/4 in just a few months. It became a cautionary tale of what happens when a startup receives excessive funding without proper oversight, leading to reckless spending, a lack of profitability, and a spectacular downfall that stunned investors and employees alike. The speed at which WeWork's fortunes changed left many wondering how such a promising venture could unravel so quickly. At the heart of this saga was its co-founder and former chief executive officer, Adam Neumann. An Israeli entrepreneur who moved to New York City for college after serving in the Israeli Navy. Neumann dabbled in various business ventures before launching WeWork in 2010. His initial idea was sparked during a conversation with his landlord about subdividing office spaces in Brooklyn. Teaming up with architect Miguel McKelvey, they launched a shared workspace concept called Green Desk, which they later sold before founding WeWork. The timing for WeWork's entry into the co-working space market could not have been better. In the wake of the 2008 financial crisis, New York City was full of commercial landlords struggling with high vacancy rates. WeWork presented itself as a solution, offering flexible office spaces that catered to a growing number of entrepreneurs and freelancers. Its first location on Grand Street in downtown Manhattan quickly gained traction, and within a year, the company had doubled in size. From there, growth was exponential. By the year 2015, WeWork had expanded its operations significantly, boasting 23,000 paying members across 32 locations. The company's valuation had soared to $10 billion. Membership started as $45 per month, and the company marketed itself as more than just an office rental business. It was a community, a movement, even a cultural shift. Employees and members alike embraced the WeWork lifestyle, and Neumann's grand vision fueled an almost cult-like enthusiasm around the brand. WeWork's rapid rise attracted an influx of investment from major backers, including venture capital firm Benchmark. However, the turning point came in 2017 when SoftBank, led by billionaire Masayoshi Son, made a massive investment in the company. The Japanese conglomerate injected $8 billion into WeWork, pushing its valuation to $20 billion. With SoftBank's backing, Neumann was encouraged to think even bigger. WeWork embarked on a rapid global expansion, signing long-term leases for massive office spaces in cities around the world. By the year 2019, SoftBank had considered investing an additional $16 billion in WeWork, which would have given it a controlling stake. However, that plan was scaled back to just $2 billion. Despite this, the company's valuation doubled again to an astounding $47 billion. Among the most valuable startups in history, surpassing well-known giants like Airbnb, Stripe, and SpaceX. But the numbers behind WeWork's success did not add up. Competitors like Eeg, formerly known as Regus, operated a similar business model yet traded at a fraction of WeWork's valuation while maintaining profitability. Investors began questioning what exactly made WeWork so much more. The reality was that WeWork's business fundamentals were deeply flawed. The company was burning through cash at an unsustainable rate, expanding recklessly without ever turning a profit. Its losses were staggering. In the first 6 months of 2019 alone, the company had lost $690 million. Over the previous 3 years, total losses amounted to nearly $3 billion. Meanwhile, WeWork was making bizarre investments, pouring money into ventures far outside its core business, including an indoor wave pool company and an elementary school. The final blow came in August of 2019 when WeWork announced plans to go public. For the first time, investors had a chance to scrutinize the company's financials in detail, and what they found was deeply troubling. Among the many red flags was a revelation that Adam Neumann had personally trademarked the word "we" and sold it back to his own company for $5.9 million. This raised serious concerns about corporate governance and leadership integrity. Almost overnight, investor confidence evaporated. Initially, analysts predicted WeWork's valuation could drop to $12 billion. Others speculated it might fall as low as $10 billion. The public offering was postponed indefinitely on September 17th, and just 1 week later, Adam Neumann was forced to resign. In a board vote, he even voted against himself, acknowledging that his presence had become a distraction. His departure was followed by drastic cost-cutting measures, including the sale of the company's $60 million private jet, the closure of its elementary school, and plans to lay off thousands of employees. However, the company soon found itself in an even deeper crisis. Reports emerged that WeWork could run out of cash by the following month. The situation was so dire that it could not even afford to pay severance packages to its thousands of laid-off workers. Meanwhile, the newly appointed co-chief executive officers Sebastian Gunningham and Artie Minson managed to secure multi-million-dollar severance deals for themselves, further fueling outrage. Ultimately, WeWork's largest investor, SoftBank, stepped in with a $9.5 billion bailout. The once high-flying startup, valued at nearly $50 billion just months earlier, was now worth less than $8 billion. The fallout from WeWork's implosion left employees disillusioned, investors burned, and the tech industry shaken. Many former employees felt they had been misled, believing they were part of a revolutionary movement only to find themselves casualties of a company that had grown too fast without discipline or sustainability. The WeWork debacle served as a wake-up call for the startup world. It highlighted the dangers of unchecked ambition, excessive funding, and a lack of oversight. The idea of rapid growth at all costs, fueled by easy money, had finally met its limits. Investors became more cautious, questioning valuations and demanding stronger business fundamentals. The days of throwing billions at companies with grand visions but no clear path to profitability seemed to be coming to an end. WeWork's story is not unique in the history of business. There have been other moments when dominant companies suddenly collapsed, replaced by better managed competitors. In the early days of e-commerce, eBay was 10 times larger than Amazon. Yet today, Amazon is 50 times the size of eBay. MySpace was once the leading social network, only to be completely overtaken by Facebook. The same shift can happen in any industry, and in WeWork's case, it was a textbook example of how the first mover does not always win. Looking back, it is clear that WeWork was both an anomaly and a perfect symbol of an era defined by unchecked ambition and limitless capital. The promise of changing the way people worked was compelling, but the execution was deeply flawed. As the dust settles, the question remains, will WeWork ever recover, or will it become a relic of a time when investors were willing to bet on dreams no matter the cost?